later. So I've been recording now streaming now for 23 minutes, and I am now recording. Hello, Internet, the void, and beyond. Hashtag the story. um, you guys no one knows about me, and I like, I used to love to have a private life until I realized that my life without people felt so sad. So, this is a channel or this is a conversation. I'm not sure where I want to take this, but I want to see my footprint and I want to see how I grow. I want to see how I evolved, and I want to look back and say, wow, I've come so far. So, I live in New York. I am unemployed. I was recently evicted from my apartment because for 8 months I've been on a hamster wheel, applying for jobs, applying for jobs, applying for jobs, applying for jobs, interviewing, rejected, interviewing, rejected. I don't have my support system. Originally from Texas, I don't have my support system here. I don't have access to mental health care. I'm not a US citizen, so it's really hard for me to get all the benefits that are granted to most individuals or most great individuals. So this is my story where I'm at. I'm being vulnerable. So for a couple of months now, I've been unemployed. I've been really navigating through life. Been trying to keep my head above water, but every single step I take, I feel like I'm just feeling as if it's the same step that I've been taking for 8 months. So this is a new approach. I've been telling myself I want to put myself out there. The reason for this channel is I am embarrassed to be where I'm at, 30 something, unemployed, with so much debt, and nothing to demonstrate to myself or my future self or my past self that I accomplished something. I am taking up new courses to better my communication. I've been trying to be optimistic through the process, but I want to talk about how since COVID, I've heard this time and time again. They're so weird. This is weird. They're strange. Blah blah blah. We live in a very weird world. This is a strange place, and these are strange times. I think with COVID, it really created our own unique silos, our own bubbles. That once we came out of this world, we forgot, or once we came out of our quarantine, we forgot and we just never paid attention to how weird people are, how weird people acted. And I don't know when we'll get back to that good place, but I hope soon. Excuse me. I think it only takes one person to make an impact. Or, there's this quote that I still carry from years ago. I don't know where I got it. So if anyone can tell me where this quote is from, I think it's from in a book. Well, obviously it's from a book. It says, after whispering, or in a sense, a million whispers, one more whisper, it creates a roar. I want society to understand that whispering weird is okay. We shouldn't label that as a bad thing. I've seen many channels where people say, we are normal, this is normal. We are there's so much noise, and I'm adding more noise onto this world. There is so much noise in this world that we don't know what to follow, who to who to follow, and if we want to be leaders, where are we going? Where do we lead people? Throughout, as I mentioned through my story, I've gotten closer to my religion, and that's kept my head above water. I ask everybody who's watching to actually look inward and look deep into who we are, what we want to achieve, and what we want to leave behind. We need to understand that we're not here forever. People want to live forever, and I just want to live a happy life. I just want to live a successful life, whatever that looks like. I I want to find meaning in my life, if anything. If I don't achieve any other thing, I want to achieve meaning. I want to continue to be happy, and I hope that I can encourage people to speak up. We live in scary times. This is a scary world, and we are cutting everybody off the benchmark before we let them test trial. For example, so yes, I've been applying for jobs. Yes, I've been interviewing. Well, have you never? Did you not land anything in this time? I did. I have, but I don't know if I'm going about this the wrong way. 2 months after I got employed, I wasn't a culture fit. Yikes, that really hurt my self esteem. And even to this day, it still impacts me because I'm thinking to myself, I didn't belong there and I tried so hard to make it to where I was. I've had coworkers say nasty things and gave them the benefit of the doubt that that's not what they meant to say. And then ignorance is a bliss sometimes. Sometimes. So recently, God, this is the hardest thing because I think I need to just vent out and I want people to listen. I'm not going to say names. I don't want anyone to get in trouble. I just want people to learn from my mistakes and hopefully prevent my life from mirroring anyone else's life. So I was interviewing with this company from, not from the US, I'll say that. Not from the US. We started interviewing back in September, last week of September. They moved fairly fast. I think that should have been, I don't know, I'm tired of the 5 round interviews, the technical interviews. What happened to the old days where it's two interviews, maybe 3, and we're done? What happened to that? Now it's like you're having to jump obstacles, create plans, homework assignments, take home assignments, technical whiteboarding assignments. It's like, Jesus, this is crazy just to work. I mean, people in the White House don't I let me backpedal. So, anyways, I was interviewing with this company back in September, the end of September, and everything was going well. We were moving forward. Um, it was 2 rounds, which was great, but all while this was going on, I had personal issues, which I'll get back. Well, talk about in a different time or in a different video. So I was going through some issues, family issues. Um, they were very understanding at first, and suddenly, they gave me an offer. Great, and I was emailing them. Hey, what should I research? How can I better prepare myself? What information do you guys have for me to digest to fully be on board and understand how to do my job, this new job? They were like, just be yourself. There's no playbook yet. Blah blah blah. We're gonna do this as time goes. Blah blah blah. You'll get it soon. Blah blah blah. Okay, fair. I was very ecstatic. I was happy. I landed something. Fast forward to last week. now we're in October 25th. Mind you, I was emailing them back and forth. Questions. They kept saying they were busy. I understood. I wanted to know more information about the company, how I can equip myself to speak the language, the buzzwords to get familiarized with the product. So I used to do sales in software, so service as a software, sales as a software, software as sales as a SaaS for short. Anyways, they're fairly nice, but no information. Um, they just said be yourself. We'll get back to you. Blah blah blah. I was doing my own research about the company, and most public information does not have the product, the demos. They don't have them, so it was extremely difficult for me to actually understand um, what to speak about when I would make these calls, when I would engage, when I would communicate with people regarding my product. Fair enough. Okay, so now, mind you, this is now we're in October. Last week was well, this past week, October 20th was when I first met the team after an offer. So strange. I was already doing a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of information digestion about the company. It was all in the dark. I didn't know um, exactly what was great information to carry over to my calls or my engagement and what was useless information. There's so much useless information. Anyways, now I was really trying very hard. I was actually not trying, I was accomplishing. Sent them a 100-page document of what I was reading. Even my teammate manager was, oh my God, this is a long document, blah, blah, blah. I was very committed. I'm always committed to what I do. So I responded, yes, I just want to make sure that I'm equipped for my next career. I know that I was in my mindset that this was going to be long term. Wow, was I wrong? Aren't we always wrong? Anyways, um, October 20th, that week before, October 20th, they asked me to go to a conference center with them. Mind you, I didn't have any information, any playbook, any documentation, anything to set me up for success. I should have known better. I should have told them no, I couldn't make it because I wasn't prepared. Anyways, so they asked me if I can take a train early Monday morning, earliest the better, blah, blah, blah. I said, yes, of course. Gave them my window of availability, saying, hey, I can travel at 6 a.m. to make it there by 7:30, or at 7 to be there by 8:15, whichever works best for you, just let me know. Then they said, no, it's okay. You book your own train. I was like, okay, fine. I was under the impression to book a business trip or a business train. Mind you, I did ask them, please book the trip for me because I really didn't know anything about the company or in general. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't know anything about the company. I did know a little bit prior to interviewing, but I didn't know how they wanted me to structure my day for my trip because I was the first U.S. um, employee that they have hired. So I asked them, you can book it for me, blah blah blah. They said, no, it's okay, you book it. I booked business class. Totaling up, so I booked my business ticket 6 in the morning to get to Philly at 8 in the morning. Great. Sent them in the information, um, and all of a sudden, the response was, John, this is a very expensive ticket. Last time I checked was $20. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'll rearrange the ticket. So luckily, I had a few days before the conference center. I canceled the first ticket and then got general class or general admissions or just a general ticket to Philly from New York. They were happy. Great. And so I get there, I wake up early morning, I get there. And this was Monday now, Monday the 20th. I get there, I introduce myself. I'm very tired, but I'm, championing through. And I introduced myself. They were so strange individuals. Not in a good way. It's just, I don't know. I think they had high expectations, and I can understand why expectations are bad. It was just so much information, mind you. I didn't have any playbook information, um, documents, nothing, no pitch, no nada to go into this conference. But I wanted to show them, like, yo, I am a team player. I will be where you want me to be. I'm going to be that amazing, stellar employee. Even though my life is falling apart, I will be where you want me to be. Great, I'm there. While I'm there, I'm getting a lot of messages on my phone, calls. I'm not answering. I'm at the conference center. I want to focus on what I'm doing. And I take a minute now. We're at maybe 2 p.m., maybe 3 p.m. Remember, I land there at 7, 7:30. It's now 2 or 1 p.m. I realized it's my neighbor, and she's telling me, yo, the marshal is here. Um, they're you're being evicted in a sense, like you're done. They want to take your dog to the shelter. What should I do? I panicked. I panicked as soon as I saw that. I couldn't show it, but I was panicking. My mind was racing. My anxiety was flaring. There was a million thoughts crossing my head, and I couldn't find a solution. So I just faked it until I made it. I went back to the booth that I'm in, and I'm anxiety. I'm anxious. I'm anxious. I'm anxious. My manager is giving me a pitch, and it was a tongue twister. I couldn't understand everything she was saying because now, mind you, I had a million things in my head. I could have prepared before, but they didn't really equip me with the tools, so they set me up for failure even before I got there. Um, she was saying it over and over and over again. And at one point, she did say, I don't know how many times I can say it anymore for you to understand what I'm saying. Listen, we all have learning curves. We don't know what's going on behind our lives. Her mom had passed away last month, and I was so understanding when I was interviewing this person. I was telling her, let's take a break. We could reset for next week. Um, Her mom wasn't even buried. This had happened maybe a week before in my interview, and when I was speaking to her, it's just funny like this. She was like, "You're speaking too fast. I can barely write down what you're saying." I was just speaking normal. I mean, I guess this is normal, but she couldn't understand. She couldn't comprehend. And so, oh, okay. So, I was having this interview with her, and I knew that she was frantic. I can tell, but I was very patient. And then I had to repeat myself a couple times also with her at the time. And now, fast forward to the conference. The conference ends. I engage with so many people. I actually bring in about three different clients that sign up, and they were ideal candidates. Surprisingly, yes, I wasn't there 100% because of everything that was going on, but I was there, and I was determined to at least finish the day strong. So the conference ends. I'm having a dinner with them. This is about 7. I don't want to be mean, but they just didn't make me feel comfortable. It was two ladies and me, and mind you, I was the one continuing the conversation, emailing, making them feel like making it normalizing myself in the conversation with them. So I was the one pulling teeth, pulling teeth, pulling teeth, and engaging, sending emails, blah blah blah. We're sitting there, so strange. I just don't want to talk anymore. And I see my manager at the time, just make conversation, and she's so vile. She's like, "I'm a party girl, blah blah blah," and she was drinking tequila at the conference. I was like, okay, all power to you. She loved to drink. Okay, then we go to dinner. She's drinking wine now. She gets two samples. I'm like, okay, cool. All power to you, mind you. All power to you. We leave dinner, and we're now going into our room. The CEO that was with me booked a ticket. No, booked the incorrect hotel. Like, she did something incorrectly. She booked the incorrect hotel, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay, no worries." I was very understanding. Again, very understanding. And she had to purchase another hotel for me. It was so strange. She was like, and put him on the same floor as us. I'm like, okay, that's strange, whatever. We go now to our hotel. This is maybe 8:30, maybe 9, closer to 9. Um, we part ways in the same floor, and her last words to me were, "Will we see you tomorrow, John?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." In the back of my head, I'm like, I have nowhere else to be. I really need to work. I want to work. And yeah, of course. So I get to my hotel room. I'm crying now. I break down. I call a lot of people to follow up, to check on my dog, to check on the status of the apartment, to find out what to do, because I'm going to have to head home the next day, which is Tuesday, which is the 21st, I think. Yeah, so I leave back the 21st. I didn't fall asleep until maybe 1, closer to 1 midnight, and we were supposed to meet in the lobby at 4:30. 4:30? Yeah, 4:30. And my alarm rang. I missed it. I hear knocking on the door, and it's my manager. I rush up and I'm like, "Hey, yeah." She's like, "John?" And I was like, "Oh, yes. Hey, I'm so sorry. I can't open the door. I don't have my trousers on. I'm so sorry. I'll be there in 2 minutes." I rush to the restroom, use the restroom, wash my face, put my clothes on, and then rush to the conference center, which was across the street. Um, Maybe this was now 8:44, 8:47, and I get there. God, she's vile and disgusting. I get there and I extend my hand. I go in for a hug, and she's like, "Wah, wah, wah, wah." And I was like, "Oh God." And so I extend my hand. And she's like, "Okay, weird." I was like, "Okay, whatever." It's not like I wanted to shake your hand, touch your hand, or hug you, but I was being polite, hag. And so she says, "Hey, this CEO wants to speak to you, blah, blah, blah." I was like, "Okay, fine." I already kind of felt like something was off. I, the CEO comes from the restroom. I can tell she poured water in her face because her hair is wet, and it's like, just like my, like, very like, blah. Anyways, she pours water in her face. We go to the back of the conference, and she sits down with me and she says, "Hey, I don't think it's going to work out." My heart sank. What can I say? No, what do I say? And she says to me, "I want you to know why." I'm like, "Okay." She's like, "You had 3 strikes. One, the train ticket just, the train ticket was okay. The train ticket, the first train ticket that I initially purchased was not up to par to what she wanted, but I fixed it. It's not like I went through it. Okay, fine. Second red flag was inability to digest information and data. Okay, okay, okay. And the third strike was being late to the conference event there. Okay. Now, the reason spoke in somewhat high detail of everything that happened prior to, because I'm going to now cross those out as excuses to let me go, which is fine. Everybody thinks that they use me just to network market and get referrals for the company, which I can see why people would think that. Anyways, so the first one was the train ticket, too expensive. In an email that I have record of, in an email, I asked them to book my train ticket. I gave them my window of availability. And also, why are you sending a new employee that's not equipped with any tools for success to a conference? You didn't give me a playbook, you didn't give me resources, you didn't give me any documentation to digest. I was out in this void, in the vast void, looking for information to be equipped for this conference. Anyways, strike number two was, again, now the information that I was unable to digest. Oh, I think I said that. Anyways, I'm just frantic about this because I haven't spoken about this, and it's just frustrating because I really wanted to give it my all in this for this company. So there is also a trail of documentations where I'm asking my manager at the time, hey, what should I look up? Hey, can you send me information? Hey, and all she kept saying was like, we're working on it. Just focus on being yourself. Blah blah blah. Okay, okay. The third one, being late. Remember, I was supposed to be there at 8:30 downstairs because we were supposed to be at the conference by 8:44, and I have emails of that. I got to the conference center at 8:47 because I was rushing, and I'm thinking to myself like, what just happened? And the only reason that I'm saying this now is because after I was let go after my first day is because I looked at my email and the CEO was messaging me telling me, "Hey, do you have any if you have any trouble, please don't hesitate to reach out, blah blah blah. We'll meet at the conference at 8:44, blah blah blah." I got there at 8:47. And so we parted ways, and she said you could stay there, and I was like, I don't want to stay here. My life is falling apart. She asked me what happened, and I told her, do you want to know the truth, or do you want me to tell you that I made a mistake, apologize for it, and move forward? I mean, it's not like we missed a major meeting. There was a major benchmark that there was nothing. I'm a new employee. This is day number two. It's even speaking about it now, it boggles my mind because, like, what? Why did they waste my time? Anyways, I tell her the truth, and I said, hey, so I got evicted. I've been really struggling to keep my head above water. And she says to me, you have to put your personal things aside. This is work. Hag, I understand, but you don't set your teammates up for failure by not providing them the information that they need to be successful. And I'm sorry I called her. No, I'm not sorry I called her a hag. She is a hag. Her and her hag sidekick. Anyways, I don't want this to be the digital footprint I leave behind. I want so that everybody know from my mistakes is, if you get hired with a company, look out for the red flags. Don't go to events or conference events without being equipped on information about the product, the company, your team. Say no. Say no. Don't be a silly goof like me, challenging himself to be perfect, knowing that I don't have the tools to even complete task number one, which was talk about the product. Anyways, we parted ways, and here we are. I got home. I had to come to the realization that my life is falling apart. I feel like the walls are caving in, but I can still breathe. There's still air in my lungs, hope in my heart, and ideas in my head on how to maneuver and move forward. To the Haggy Hags, whatever Hags. Wish you the best. I hope that you learn from this experience on who to hire, what to do, and how to prepare for your next um, teammate, because this was such a horrible, sour experience. And I don't, I am talking about it because I want people to learn from my mistakes. And now we're here. I am in a safe spot now, but I have court on Monday, and we are going to figure out how, if, and what to, how we can move forward, because I owe about, let's say, hypothetically, $50,000 in rent, back to rent, and that's another situation because I never toured my apartment. I am paying a little bit more than, or about the same amount as my neighbors. In my contract, it stated that I had a one bedroom. I didn't tour it. I moved here December 26th. No, yeah, December 26th, 2023 to New York City. Never toured it. I took my contract for face value that it was a one bedroom. I signed it. I arrived December 26th, and I got in a studio. I got a studio. Excuse me. And I didn't want to fight about it. I should have. I didn't want to cause a disturbance. I should have. I didn't want to speak up because I was embarrassed. I still should have. So now I was paying a studio, maybe 600, probably 500 square feet, for 3,400, 3,200, 3,400. It was a studio. And I brought this to management's attention, and they said, okay, well, not sure if there's anything in the unit, lies. Circle back in 3 months. Okay. 3 months, I paid, I was making consistent payments. And he says to me, we would have to redo your contract, your lease, and you would have to start over after 3 months. I thought to myself, my lease had already said one bedroom. You want me to scrap the contract that I have and create a new one, and also charge me an additional $200 for the space. Okay. Anyways, that's the pickle that I am in now. This is a story. I'm not sure if I'll post it, and if I do, okay, great. But just send support, send good comments, tell me things are going to be okay. Tell me you guys' similar story where you felt trapped, and where you guys look, and how you guys look back from those days that you felt like you couldn't move, and where you are now. I'd love to foster a channel where it's just positivity and acceptance, because again, this is a weird world, and we're not going to Mars anytime soon, and I don't think I want to go to Mars. I really enjoy everybody here. I know everybody's strange, I know everybody's weird, but that's what makes us human. That's what makes us unique. So, to my one viewer right now, thank you for your time. Um, and I hope to make hope to continue making other videos. Silly videos. There will be more structure there, but uh, this was a lot to just vent out, and I think I needed to vent this out because it's not fair what happened. I'm not giving up. I have a couple interviews on Monday, and I also have court on Monday, so I'm gonna see how I juggle both. But I'm not giving up. Don't give up. Be quick to show love. Be slow to respond with anger, and embrace everything and everybody because we have one life. So again, be quick to love, be slow to respond, and be slow to hate. I'll get better on that. My pastor says it a lot better. Um, but just show support, subscribe. I guess this is strange. Um, Now I'm the one posting videos. I'm usually endlessly doom scrolling, but have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and I'll see you when I post again tomorrow, the day after. It's just to generate information. It's not as easy as I thought it was, but enjoy your Saturday.